Aloha, Rich Halverson here. This is ITS227. And today we're going to start with Chapter 9 on JQuery. So let me share my screen. All right, so JQuery is a library that you can connect into your JavaScript code. And I'll show you that in a moment. And it offers a bunch of extra functions to help do all the things that you have to do in JavaScript when you're messing with the page. It makes them easier, and it's very popular. And so we can add new elements, add a new text box, so on. It makes it easier to add event handlers to user user actions. It makes animation easier and so on. And Ajax is pretty good. It allows you to very simply use the HTTP whatever it is function in JavaScript much more easily to interface with the web server. And we'll get to that later. And also it takes quick care of browser quirks that occur across different brands of browsers. So it's smart in that way. All right, so the way you access it is you can just add this script tag into your in the top of your in the head of your JavaScript. No, not that one. This one. You want the complete HTTP address. If you download it onto your server, I guess it would be like this, but no, you want to do this because you want to go out and get it from, you want to get the latest one. All right, so that's how you insert JavaScript in, and the way jQuery, and the way what jQuery does is there's this jQuery function, which whatever is in there, it returns a handle or a variable for the collection of whatever it is defined inside the parentheses here. And so it's either going to be a collection with a single element if you're only identifying a single element, or it could be a collection if you want all of the p tags or so on. See, so that's what this is explaining. So and there's a shortcut, just the $. You don't need the query, just the $. Is a shortcut. So this says, for example, let p $P be all of the get element by ID, the whatever it is that's ID is get element by ID, and so that's a new so this will now contain a collection of which just contains one element, and that's this. All right, so let's go to the first section that's got a challenge. Okay, so the first easy thing the first thing that jQuery makes easier is how it is selecting elements. Okay, and then once you select a collection of elements, there's nice functions or methods that allow you to apply classes and apply certain things to the whole entire collection. So here in this example, there's a style which colors these two lines, these two paragraphs, two different paragraphs. There's two paragraphs here, and the jQuery, first of all, this thing selects all the P's, and that'd be both paragraphs, and that this is a collection of those. And then what this does is this takes it applies to the collection this add class method, which takes the name of the style, this class, the class name. Oh, it's because of the, well, applies all of the class name important to and important is this class. It's this style, applies it to both paragraphs, and so it looks like that. And this all paras here is this illustrates that it's both paragraphs. Anyway, so click through that. All right, so you understand that. And these are the basic selectors, just like in regular old JavaScript. And then these are additional selectors. You can select by attributes. See, this is the extra stuff. You can select by, describing certain things, like the first paragraph, every other row, table row tag, the second li element, with like this, the last child of the l, and so on. So that's very convenient. You're able to do a bunch of stuff in just one statement. And so here's an example. You can go through this, and this is the CSS. See, these are the two things. You're either highlighting or you're messing with the border. And this is the JavaScript. And here you can this takes all the LIs and highlights them. So that's why it looks like this. Anyway, so go through that. Let's do this. Let's do the first one here. Using jQuery, add class exaggerate to the element with an ID of third. Okay, so see, let me go back to this is second one. And so let's look at the CSS. Oh, start it up. Let's look at the CSS. And it's just, that's what exaggerate does. It changes the background color. And this is all the JavaScript. So what we want to do is ID of third. So we want to say this is the jQuery function select. ID is a hashtag, isn't it? Yeah. Third. This one. I want to add a class. And which class I want to add is exaggerate. Sometimes it's hard to know if you should put a quote, put something in quotes or not. It has to do if it could be defined by a variable or not. Anyway, so let's see if this is right. Very good. All right, the next one is use jQuery to remove subtle from the li tag. So I want to remove all of these subtles. Looks like, just from the li tag. Okay, there's all these subtles, and I just want to remove it from the li tag. So this is what subtle is, and JavaScript is all by myself. Okay, and so it's just there's only one li tag. Okay, that's good. So I want to select the li tag, and I think I can just do this. The li tag, I want to remove a class. And I want to remove subtool. Add a class subtotal to all the span tags that descend from a p tag. Well, you know, descension is the same. Look up here's examples. So here, here's a descent, our descendants of an LIT. So we're going to do that one. Here, remove the subtle. Remove. Oh, adding. Number 3, we're adding subtle. Darn it. Okay. Okay, so the JavaScript would be $, parentheses, quote, to set P space span, yes. And we want to add class subtotal. Okay. All right, and the last one is remove a class highlight from all odd indexed p tags. Well, all right, so I think it's okay, so that's what we're removing, highlights on all of them. So I think we're going to do well, it's certainly $, parentheses, quote, P space, I don't know, it's P something. I'm going to come back to that. And to that, I'm going to remove class highlight. Okay, so it's that, but I want to do odd indexed p tags. You know, odd in. Well, let's go to the p tag. Even, well, I'm going to guess that odd works. I would guess that odd works. So it's P odd indexed p tag. So I guess I just do odd. Oops. Oh. Is that right? Oh man, amazing. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna continue because it's late. Okay, so we are at well, I'm gonna leave this up for a couple seconds so it's easy to find on the video. And let me do callback functions. Okay, callback functions are event handlers, and whoever designed JQuery decided to come up with an even newer name for them, I guess. Callback functions. Actually, and there's some other languages that use that term. But anyway, it's the event handler or the event listener. And so you can register, you know, this is the plain old JavaScript way. Remember that was in a previous chapter. You have my button here and you want to add an event listener, event handler, and this is the this is the method, and this is the event. Okay, so this is the JavaScript way. Well, the jQuery way is, this is how you, of course, how you identify the element. Just like this. And it's kind of like CSS. And then using the on method, click just like this. So on is like add event listener, and this is simply all of this. Okay. Or you can do it this way too. It's even more shorthand. And then there's these shortcut things where a hover is like this, then this, and so on. Hover binds callback. It's the callback functions. So anyway, I go through this. Oh, and then the ready event is, normally we want to wait till everything is loaded, and so you can so you can enclose it in this. Close all your stuff in there. So anyway, so go through this and make sure you understand that. And these are events that that jQuery helps you with shortcuts. And so let's do this one. Register the count. So let's start this up. This is the register the count characters event handler to handle the focus event for the text area tag. Notice the function counts the number of characters in the text area. So we got to do something like, let's see, I gotta. Okay, so let's go over to the JavaScript. Okay, that's it. And we want a text area, and that is, we want to attach an event handler onto this element. So we want to start, call it text area element. And we want to, we can use on, or we can just use focus. The focus event handler is count chars. I think that's it. So we're gonna, the event handler, the focus event handler for this element is this, which is that. Is that right? Yeah. So, okay, what's next? Write and register an event handler that displays event reaction on the console log when it receives a mouse enter event. Okay. So, all right. So first, okay. So this is the element, and we want to be able to do a element dot mouse enter dot some event handler, some event handler. Okay, that's what we want to do. And now we got to define, okay, so that is going to do the connecting, that's going to do the register part. And now I just need to do the write part, and I should put it above it so when it gets to this point, it has already seen what this is. Right? test to see if you can do it the other way. But before this, we got to put a function. And what did I call it? Some event handler. And it's going to be, we can put this here. So that's the variable that contains a bunch of information about the event that occurred. And we're going to, but all we're going to do is we're just going to output on the console. We're just going to output event reaction. Yeah. Those things. So this thing, event reaction is going to be displayed out on the console log. That's all on the console log when it receives the mouse entry event. So this is going to register the mouse entry event. I don't know if this is right. I don't. Oh, I guess it's right. Okay, what's next? Write and register an event handler that adds the class highlight to the H3 tag on mouse over. Write and register. All right, well, again, we're going to have a this dot add class called highlight, I guess. Where is it? I don't know. Who knows? Adds this class. Semicolon, I guess. No, that won't work because that'll just do it all the time. I need to, this has to be in the event. So let me write the event first. The event is going to be function event handler, function event handler. Let's see, get any info. Here is where I want to I need to, the target is what? The target is the element that invoked the handler. The handler, so it's going to be let the target equal the event target. Okay, so what this is doing is event target is going to be the element that that caused the event. And so in this case, it would be this, because it would be all these. It could be all these or just this, because that is what we're going to use to, what is it? It's a mouse over the event handler. So this is what this should be, event handler. Okay, now I gotta close this. And what am I doing? It adds the class to the H3. Okay, so I go at this. So now we refer to it as target. And we add class to the target because of this. Add class highlight. Looks like it. You know, I'm going to try something. I'm going to try this instead. I'm going to try H3 element. Add class. Okay, and then I'm gonna comment these out. I can comment it that way. Okay, so this is the only thing that executes. I'm gonna see if this works. Oh, look, it does work. That's interesting. Okay, because the answer in the book is what anyway. All right, so that's 9.3. And is there a 9.4? There's no 9.4, but there's a 9.5. So let's go to 9.5. So I'm going to leave it on this for a little while. So if you're searching for this point in the video, here we are. All right, 9.5. This is, you know how in JavaScript, you can, when you're manipulating the DOM, you can add elements and you can remove elements. You can add buttons. You know, you can add text boxes. You can just, so before we've just messed with what's there and thinking about it as a static page, but we can manipulate, objects or elements within the page. This has to do with adding new elements or taking out elements. So so there's this ATTR method, which, does everything for us. And so this will change the source attribute of an image tag, and it will change them all to this. These are the shortcuts, the methods that JQuery provides to do all of the same things, that you can see. This is how this automatic. Okay, anyway, so go through that. These are all the shortcuts. Take these little quizzes so you know that, right? This is remove and detach. There's methods for modifying text. Make sure you understand the differences there. And here we are. All right. Okay, for the image, tag, set the source to that. So we are doing it in the JavaScript. Right, in the JavaScript. So it would be, and we're all JQueried up, so it'll be image tag. All the image tags. We're going to change the attribute. This changes the attribute. Erases what was there before. With whatever that big long URL is. And I better take this big long URL. Copy. And paste. All right. What's next? Create and store a variable called new item with that. Okay, div. Create and store a variable new item. Oh, that's this with the new h3 tag. Okay. So I want to make it's got to be a thing called new item equals with an H. Oh, this is just HTML. So this is H1. This is just an H1 tag. This is a string, a literal string, and so the new item is that text there, and then I'm going to append new item into the div. Sorry, not H. Is this right? Is that all I have to do? No. Oh, I have to write into this new item what this part, step-by-step thing. I had to do something with that. You should like know that you have. Okay, so I do new item text. This is the function for adding some text. And what that text is this. All right. Okay, so what's this one? Add an li in the new tag variable. Should be the last in the OL tag. So down here, this is a new tag. And the text of the new tag is, so that's what's inside the li. And then I want to be able to append, append, right? Yeah. Let's see. This is an HTML. Oh, I get it. I get it. Remove append. The last one. Append. So to the OL, I want to prepend, append, whatever this new tag is. All right, is that right? Okay. What's the fourth one? Attach the H3 tag to the DOM and store the tag in variable detached object. So I've got to detach this H3 and store the tag into a variable called detach object. So so I guess I got to use the detached thing. Detach. Detach returns the removed nodes, whereas remove doesn't. So detach is going to return something. Oh, I see. So that's okay. So let me just copy this here. This might help me. So down here, I'm gonna paste, and it's gonna be called detached object, and it's detached the H3 tag. There's only one H3 tag. Oh yeah, okay. So this is H3. I'm gonna do H3. Detached, detached, detached. Gotta put a $sign in there. All right, let's see if this works. Oh man, I'm lucky. Oh, ooh, big test. Okay, what's next? Move the first LI tag of the first OL tag to be the first LI tag of the second OL. Move the first LI tag from the first OL to be the first LI tag of the second OL. So I want to take that LI tag and make it be the first LI tag of this one. So I want to move the A down to here. Okay, what does this do? Oh, what does this do? Yeah, move the A down to there. Great. Okay, so ooh, it doesn't tell me anything. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna and I don't know if I don't understand why sometimes they use constant sometimes. Let me do let. Hope let works. Something. Let the li tag. Let the li tag. Li tag equal. What am I gonna try to select here? The first OL and the first LI. First. And I'm going to detach that dude. Okay. And then I'm going to prepend. I'm going to take the onto the last OL. Guess it's, wait a second. This is, the last OL, yeah. Prepend on the last OL because it's the second OL. I guess I'll do it this way. Onto the last OL. a prepend, whatever this was, li tag. Now, instead of last, can I that's what the answer is, but I'm going to see if I can try another way. Instead of last, it's also the second one. So how do I access the second one? Oh, that's it. No, it's not. I never mind. That was just gonna, I think that was in a different section. Anyway, let's see if this works. Oh, this is a 1. Should be an I. Try again. This is a really? Is that a 1? That's a 1? Yeah. Should be an I. All right. Does that work? All right. Okay, that's now the last section is Ajax. Ajax gives you the power to it makes it really easy to ask the server to do a little query to the server. And you can send a query and send it off to a little bit of code that you write that's on the server that could maybe access a database, and that on the server code can be written in anything that the server understands. Doesn't have to be JavaScript. In fact, it probably won't be JavaScript. Probably be like PHP or Python or whatever. And that's a different course. That would be ITS227P, I think. But anyway, so on the client side, you send these little HTTP requests to the server using Ajax, and it's the best. And so this is it's like our wrappers around this object. Now, before Jake, I've written a lot of code, a lot of JavaScript code that accesses the server, and I use this XML HTTP request object, and it's just some code I found about 10 or 12 years ago, and I make it really small, and I just put it in all my JavaScript. But jQuery, but see, things change, and so throughout the years it is broken, and I've had to fix it. But anyway, with jQuery, you don't have to worry about any of that because jQuery takes care of all that. Supporting the supporting methods that are underneath, and so go through these examples. But when we use this load method, it does an HTTP request, and this is the URL. And so go through that, and there can be gets and posts. Get, of course, the name value pairs are in the URL, and there's also stored in the web in the logs, server logs. A post request is your separate packet of information that gets sent across. So that information is not stored in the server logs. And so this supports both kinds, and the data that you get back can be just text, or it can be HTML, and you can take that data and put it right into the text field or a paragraph element on an HTML page, or it can return data in the form of XML or JSON. And JSON has become the de facto standard. So even though the name of the object up here is still this, but it's, everyone uses it for JSON now, with JSON. And so that's what this is about. And so here's how you do a get. And the first attribute is the URL. The second attribute is the data you're going to send it. The third attribute is the data that's where you're gonna put the data that's coming back. And the fourth attribute is the form of the data that is coming back. So you can, no, I'm sorry. It's wrong. The third attribute is the it's the what's it called? It's the event handler. It's what you do with the data that comes back. It's the function that executes when the data is received. And this function that's executed in this example here is it stores some data that came back as, you know, adds some HTML around it and displays it out here. So anyway, so that's these methods, but there's an even more general one, of course, and it's .ajax. And .ajax, that adds put and delete. Those are others besides put. Get and post, there's put and delete too, and nobody ever uses those, but they can be useful. And so read this, make sure you understand this. So in an Ajax execution, there's the URL, there's the method, the data, and the data type. Okay, so I was mixed up before. That's this here. And data handling errors, and you can add an .fail at the end of it to say what happens when it fails. All right, let's so make sure you read that. Let's do these last challenges. Okay, make a request to HTTP this with this, which is this. Let me start this up. And handle the response by passing the request handler function. Oh, that's this. Okay, so that's going to be the second. Oh, and this is a get. Okay, get it? The function can be passed as an argument using the function name without yeah. Okay, so let me make sure I don't steer you astray too badly. It's nice to make mistakes down there, because then you can see it's nice to see mistakes. You can see what you do when you get those mistakes. You might get those mistakes. Let's see. The first one here is so I'm supposed to say what goes inside the get here, I guess. And so let me find a get. I gotta go to a get. Let's see. What's a nice get? This looks like a nice get. I'm going to copy this get. Oh, just this. Yeah, I'm going to copy everything that's inside the get parentheses, and I'm going to go down to here, and I'm going to paste it. But get rid of this thing. But I'm going to replace it. Okay, so the URL is this. Copy. By the way, that's a nothing. I typed in well, you can fiddle with it. Copy this and paste here. And then request data is, that's that. And the function is request handler. So I don't need to do this. I'm going to put, okay, I'm going to put, there's the function, request handler. And the data type of XML. Okay, now this could be a variable, so it makes sense that you put it, we're going to do a literal, so it makes sense we put it in quotes, XML. And that, I think, is all we need. Okay, the function name does not put, you don't put parentheses there because that's not going to be a variable. That's going to be something you define up above, okay? They're not going to make it that indirect. Okay, so check. Thank you. What's next? Oh, if the data object's success property is true, display the first to-do item from the data. Otherwise, display the error from data. Okay, so I don't like using that construct, so I'm going to try to do it a more simplified way. So if success is true, if data, I think I got to use parentheses in this language. If data, see from here, if data.success is true, which means it's just that, then I'm going to display the first to-do item. Console, I guess, is what I'm doing. So, log. I want to display data to-dos this 0, methinks. Think. I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with that. Or else, close that. Else, oh, I see. Console, I could have made a variable. Then data error. Is that enough? Oh, yes. What's the last one? Now I've got an Ajax handler, which does that. And I've got a get. And I've got a something. And that's, there's some, look at all these nice literals. Okay, this is the URL, literal. This is a data, JSON data object, defining as zip code. And here's a function. It's a nice function that, oh, and then it's going to be JSON. And then what am I supposed to do? Get, extend, get to call Ajax handler if the request fails. So how do I handle get request failing? Not there, not an example there. Let's go back to some gets. Fail. Oh. Oh, look. Here. See that? No, it's only to here, I think. Oh, wait. No, I think it is to here. Yeah, that's the done. Is there any more examples of the fail? Well, I'm going to do a dot fail. I'm sure it's dot fail something. So right here, I do dot fail, and I'm sure I put a function in here. I'm just going to put Ajax handler. Okay. How's that? Whoa, I'm so lucky. All right, that's 9.6. And that takes care of all of the challenges in this takes care of all the challenges in chapter 9. So thanks for watching. Hope they help.